Right, you guys, today is, what is today? Wednesday, June 3rd. And I'm excited to talk to you about this topic tonight that we're going to cover. So we're going to talk about problem stating versus problem solving. And, if nothing else, we are going to just light it up with mindset, right? And maybe you're like, okay, we're talking too much about mindset, but we're not, right? I know we've covered a lot of topics, a lot of different subjects that all really come right back to what you're telling yourself and what those thoughts are that are in your head and how those are playing out are exactly what is going to happen in your results. Whether you get the results or you don't, it all really starts here. So we just have to keep growing this mindset. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about problem stating versus problem solving, what they are, what the difference is. We're going to go through some examples, and then we're going to talk a little bit about growth mindset and go back to that. And I'm going to show you again some resources that you can use to really start shaping the way that you develop thinking. And the thing that's really cool about this, you guys, is not only is this going to help you to make your health and your fitness better, but your nutrition better, your health better, but it really is something that you will be able to translate into every aspect of your life, because you can use these same mindset techniques, these same ways that you talk to yourself, to your family, to your kids, in every aspect of your life. And you can pass it on. It was just tonight that we were actually talking to my kids about how to kind of switch their mindset, how to make that change in some habits that they needed to become better at, and how to utilize the same thing. So this isn't just for one thing. This isn't just for now. This is something that's really going to change your life. But you have to accept it, right? You have to let that in. You have to be willing to do the work. And it is work, right? It's changing the way we're thinking. It's changing those beliefs that we've had. It's changing the way that we've thought. It's changing what has been easy for us. It's really easy to tell ourselves something and then let those actions play forward to make that happen, versus to really dig deep, to sometimes feel it in our core that we're wrong and we can change, or we can be in control when we're choosing not to be in control, and make that changes. But you guys, I'm going to keep pushing you down this rabbit hole, because this is where your life changes. This is where your life changes, right? When you think about you're here and you want to see that scale go down and you want to lose those pounds and you want to wake up with more energy and feel better, I want you to really remember why you want that. Why do you want that? It isn't just for that number on the scale. It can't be. If it is, then you will never, ever make progress. You'll always go right back to the starting line or further back. Like, there is a purpose, there is a reason, there's something that you're striving for to make your life better, not just to do something hard because it's hard, right? So why are you choosing this challenge? Why are you choosing to lose weight? Why are you choosing to better your nutrition? Why are you choosing to learn how to do these things? Don't forget that, right? In the hard, don't forget that why, that purpose, and let that continue to drive you forward, because that is what you're here for, right? It isn't to see the scale go down. That will happen. It will happen. But it'll happen when you remember that why and you decide to change from having those limiting beliefs, having those excuses, holding on to the way things have been, to allowing yourself to grow. So I love the 2B mindset. I love Ultimate Portion Fix. I love what those programs are doing to help us to see little mindset shifts, right? To let us see a bigger purpose in what we're doing with food and what we're doing with building our best bodies, right? In building our best minds, in becoming more confident and strong. And this is it, right? This is how we do it. So let's talk a little bit about problem stating versus problem solving. And then I'm going to dive into some examples. And we're going to talk about some of the things that I hear problem stating most, and how to change that. So what is a problem? What is problem stating? It's basically like placing yourself in a position of not being able to move forward, right? Like a fixed mindset, right? Something that cannot change, So some things that we'll talk about a little bit, or that I hear a lot, is I'm addicted to sugar. I can't lose weight. I'm not motivated. This is hard, right? I hear those things a lot. And you guys, those are statements that you are choosing to make real because you're saying them to yourselves, right? And you're putting that, when you say that word, I can't, or I'm not, you take power away from yourself, because you're putting those as attributes on yourself, not behaviors that can change, but things that are tangibly part of you that can't be changed. So you have to be careful with how you talk about what your challenges are, right? We will all have challenges, right? This isn't going to be a walk in the park. You don't just breeze in and change who you are and all these beliefs that you've had overnight. But what we can do is make it so that we are capable to move forward. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have to seek solutions, right? You got to open your mind to learn, to ask, to observe, to adopt this new mindset, right? And I've told you over and over, you've got to be a student. You've got to be a student. You've got to be a student. And the more that you learn, the more you dive into this, the more you dissect these obstacles, these problems, these hiccups in the road, and really apply what you're learning in your programs, apply what you're learning in these calls, apply what you're learning in our challenge group, the better that you'll get, right? So allow yourself that, right? This is a learning process. It isn't succeeding. It isn't failing. It is developing experiences that help you to learn and to grow. So be willing to get out of your comfort zone and to do that. Okay, so that's problem stating, is saying here's why I'm not moving forward. Here's what's happening, right? Now problem solving is taking whatever that challenge is, whatever that obstacle is, and addressing it in a way that can help you to move forward. You know, I was going to talk about growth mindset at the end, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and introduce it first, because I think when you get this concept, you'll be able to see exactly, when we talk a little bit about the things that were some of the specific problem stating, and how to create that into a problem solving mindset, that you'll understand what that is, right? So this is a packet that is available to you, sitting right there in the file section of our Fit to Become Inspired community on Facebook. So if you have this, get it back out. If you don't have this, get in there, print this out, watch the videos on growth mindset that you can. So if you go into that group also, you'll see there's some like topic tags, and there is one for mindset, and you'll be able to find all of the videos that are in that group on mindset, right? I know, instant resource. Everything you want to know is right there for free. So grab this and go through it, right? So growth mindset. So is your mindset fixed, or are you growing? And here's some examples of a fixed mindset, right? People that avoid challenges, they give up easy, ignore feedback, they become threatened by other people's success. They try hard to appear smart and capable as possible because they're afraid to say, I don't know, or I'm not good at this yet, right? We all feel like we have to be like super women, and we don't. It's so much better if we show up in a vulnerable way to be able to grow in these groups, right? So many people, a lot of you, if you're not checking in right now into these groups, I know why. Because you're afraid to be vulnerable. You feel like you have to have it all figured out. You feel like the only time you can check in here is if you do all of the stuff and do it all right, right? So you're probably living in more of a fixed mindset, and I want you to change that. I want you to know this is the best place for you to be when you need to grow. This is the best place for you to be when things aren't going well, so that you can get that support, so you can get those ideas, right? You can have access to all of the support in the world, all of the motivation in the world, all the motivational people. But if you don't use it, if you don't show up in that environment, like, it won't help you. Okay, so fixed. And how do we change that to growth? So a growth mindset looks like embracing challenges, right? It's not saying that things aren't hard, but we're going to take those on. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out how to do this. You give your very best effort. Now, it doesn't say perfect, but your best effort, right? 100% of your best effort, what you can give to every day. That might look a little bit different, right? Maybe you had a baby that kept you up all night long. So you didn't get up at 6 o'clock because Mama needs some sleep too, right? So that's okay. But what can you control in that day still, even though you didn't get that 6 a.m. wake up time to get your workout in? Does that mean that you have to go and eat junk food all day? Absolutely not, right? Embrace those challenges and control what you can control and figure out, how can I make this the best that I can be right now? Give your best effort. Learn from your feedback, right? When things don't go well, we learn from that. This is an opportunity for us to say, that didn't go so well. So I surely can learn something from that. I surely can take something from that, and being able to do that. Believe that intelligence can change if they work hard, right? You are not stuck. You are not only given what you are, right? Fit to become. That's exactly what this group is all about, is taking who you are, what you have, those gifts and talents that you already are, and making them even better, right? So having a growth set instills the belief that skills can be developed. It is a focus on learning from our experiences, putting forth effort to be successful, and our abilities are not predetermined, and they are determined by our actions. Love growth mindset. It's everything I want you guys to be in this group. So within this, again, I took some things and put in here that from the Big Life Journal, which I love, that you guys can do. And these look like they're made for children, and you guys, they are. Because I want you to be able to take this and do it not only for you, but to be able to have this for your families too. So there's some powerful exercises in here, but I want to go down to this page and really have you focus on this, right? Because this is a powerful statement. When we have told ourselves, we stated a problem, right? And put ourselves in that fixed mindset. This is the way to get out of this, right? So instead of stating, I'm addicted to sugar, right? A growth mindset would say, I really have a problem eating sweets throughout the day, and I haven't figured out how to overcome that yet, right? That one word is so powerful, because it tells you you can have a problem, you can have an obstacle, you can have a challenge, but it doesn't mean that has to be the way it is, right? The yet gives you the opportunity to still be figuring it out, to still be on that path to be able to make a change, right? So go through this, something that you're really good at, right? How did you become good at it? Explore that a little bit, right? Apply those same principles to the things that you are wanting to get better at now, right? And then take that. So, and then I want you to, those things that you want to develop, that you learn from this exercise, things that you can tell yourself. What are 5 things you can tell yourself so that you don't give up, so that you keep going, so that when times are tough, you can turn to this and know how to talk positively to yourself so that you can get out of that struggle, right? So powerful to do that for yourself. So get into the Fit to Become Inspired community on Facebook, pull this up, print it out, go through it with your kids, go through it with your spouse, go through it with your best friend, but it's great to do with a partner. But you guys use this, develop this growth mindset, because you are capable of it, and it will help you a lot. Okay, so now that we kind of understand problem stating, right, what the obstacle is, and that we put it in a fixed sense, something that turns into beliefs, right? When I say this is hard, all of my actions are now going to lead me to believe this is hard, right? If I believe I'm addicted to sugar, and I say I'm addicted to sugar, all of the actions that I take are going to lead me back to that assumption that I'm addicted to sugar. Not that I eat too much sugar and here's some ways I can change it, but oh, there it is again. I had the cookie, couldn't stop at 1, had 5, right? I'm addicted to sugar. I can't change that. I can't lose weight. No, that sounds insane, right? So let's talk about some specific examples of problems and how we can then change them from problem stating to be able to put us in the mindset and to be able to take action, right? To apply this growth mindset and be able to get better. So I pulled a few. I love Alana does this a lot. She puts these problem stating statements up, and I really, really love it. So I just pulled a few of these from her page, and we're going to talk about them, right? So problem stating, I self-sabotage. Problem solving, a way to take action forward on this, I need to stop fearing success, right? So we did a whole call on self-sabotage, so we're not going to go into what that is. Go back and listen to that team call. You guys get on my YouTube page, find that, go in there and get that, go back for your emails. It's there. But I self-sabotage. So why do I self-sabotage, right? When we have that problem, we need to ask ourselves why, right? Why? What was going on? What's happening? And then we can get to the root of what that problem is. Because the problem isn't that you're incapable of being able to lose weight, right? The problem is there's something holding you back in your mindset, or some fear, which we talked about in our Monday morning rally this week, how to overcome the pains of what leads to our fears, to be able to move to be successful, right? So I need to stop fearing success. Maybe that's one reason. A lot of times we feel like, we just can't be successful, but we really might fear, like, what could you be fearing? Could you be fearing that you'll lose people that you love, or that your social connections will change? Do you fear that, you just won't know who you are, or how to be this new person that you need to be? Will you feel like you won't have support anymore, right? Emotionally and socially, and to have those people in your life, right? Get to the root of what that is, and then build that so that those fears that you have, false assumptions that aren't real, they aren't real. And you can get to what that pain is and how to really help yourself with the right mindset to change that, right? All right, so let's do another one here. Okay, I overate. Okay, so oops, I overate too. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this one, because I have been so in that vein before, guys, of when I have eaten something, it's like, well, I already blew it, so I better just blow the whole day and take it, because I got to get back on track tomorrow, right? Creating those food rules for ourselves. But you guys, this is a really emotional and difficult time right now, right? Through this quarantine, through having to be home, through not having those social connections that we typically have to, like, definitely leads to us using food for other things other than fuel, right? And to turn to that for pleasure. But what if we didn't have to have one or the other, right? What if we could have both? Still lose weight, enjoy the foods that we want, make sure that we have things that help us with comfort. So here's a few ways to take this oops, I overate, right? And feeling like you blew it, to changing into a problem-solving mentality that will help you to get back on track, right? So problem solving, lose the shame. It happens to everyone. It happens to all of us, right? We have all been there. We've all indulged too much, or didn't stop, or wasn't thinking about it, or just kind of fell into old habits. Like, it happens. Here's another one. Oops, I overate, or believe in yourself. It's never too late to pull it together. You will still be able to reach your goals, right? So this was a big one for me when I studied the 2B mindset, was to stop telling myself, oh, I blew it, so I might as well eat all of the rest of these cookies, or eat 2 bowls of ice cream, or, whatever it was that I hadn't done well, like that I had to really not do it well, right? I had to say, you know what, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but I can do better after dinner. I don't have to eat after dinner. I can still be dinner and done, and be good with that, right? So believe in yourself. Here's another one. Reflect, right? Instead of oops, I overate, reflect. What could you have done differently to prevent it, right? And I shared my story when I started the 2B mindset about my barbecue and how that didn't go well. I was so excited and felt so confident, and then didn't do well. And being able to say, okay, it didn't go well, but what would I change next time, helped me to be better that next time. How about this? Oops, I overate. Annihilate the threat, right? I love this saying from Alana. Identify what's causing your problems, right? Those foods, and get rid of them, right? Move them out of your space, put them somewhere out of sight, out of mind, get them out of the house if you need to, whatever that means, like, to help you to be better. Like, maybe it's, you know what, I just never do well when this is in the house, and you remove that from the house and get that out. So that's, again, it's a way that you've solved that problem. And then one last one for this one, track it and move on, right? You can bounce back. You can reduce the chance for repeat if you write it down. So many times when we don't do well, again, we stop showing up, we don't write it, we don't track it, we stop doing the things that actually help us to be successful, right? So recognize it, and that'll allow you to say, you know what, that was okay. I wrote it down, I know what happened, and I'm gonna do better next time. And it'll allow you to move forward, right? Here's another one. I shouldn't be eating this, right? How many times have you said this and you felt guilty to yourself about eating something that you maybe shouldn't be eating, versus I'm not fully enjoying this, I can drop it, right? So sometimes, we might find ourselves enjoying a treat, or as Alana calls them, a silly carb, and feel like, you know what, I'm not really enjoying this. And in that moment when you're not, it's okay to not finish it, right? To say that was enough, to let it go. So change that mindset. Okay, this is another really easy one. I've been stress eating and gaining weight. Recognize what is happening. Why are you stress eating? Why are you gaining weight? We focused a lot on routines over the past couple of months too. And why have we done that? Because when we have a routine, it gives us a plan, and we have things in motion, right? So if this is something that you've struggled with, maybe your problem solving is, I need accountability, motivation, support, right? So finding those things that will really help you to be able to turn to something else to help reduce your stress, or to create those connections or the things that you need with your life. Okay. Addicted to sugar, right? So I'm addicted to sugar. Problem solving. I need to discover my love for vegetables, right? So I know this can be really hard, especially when we are living with other people, or there's other influences or things, right? To kind of stop bringing that into our houses or having that. But here's some things that you can do that I want you to recognize. So number one is recognize that there are other things in your life that you can crave, right? So I love this problem solving with Alana is finding, you need to find my love for vegetables, right? Not I need to eat more broccoli, or not I need to eat more carrots, but how can I make my salads full, delicious, and beautiful, right? What can I put on my broccoli that's going to make me really enjoy eating it, right? My kids went from somewhat liking broccoli, and we would have it and some of them would eat it, to everybody would eat broccoli when I just put a tiny sprinkle of cheddar cheese on it. Right? I just accessorized that, made it delicious, made it something that they looked forward to, and they ate more of it, right? So find those things, that other things that you crave in your life. And, that might be different foods, like discovering vegetables, but it might also be changing your hobbies, changing your influences, right? Changing those things that are around you to help bring you joy and help you to be able to turn away from some of those emotional eating habits and things like that. That will really help you to find that. And then make it exciting too, right? Maybe a trip to the grocery store isn't exciting for you, but it's getting warmer now. We're going to have like farmers markets, things like that. Maybe a trip to the market is something you really get excited about. We've helped our kids to get excited in kind of the same way about eating more vegetables by kind of creating a tradition that every time we go to the farmer's market, that we look for a vegetable that we haven't had before that we can have. So maybe it's something brand new. Maybe it's just something like purple beans, green beans that are purple instead of green, or the rainbow carrots or something like that. That can really help us to be better. So again, I'm addicted to sugar. Find why are you eating so much sugar? What are you turning to that for? And discover how you can change that in your mind. I have weight to lose, versus I need more motivation, incentive, and support. So again, instead of making it a chore, we've got to turn that into Hawaii, right? This has to be something that's fun and it's exciting, that we look forward to. So maybe that motivation is in our challenge groups. Maybe you create a bet with your friend, or join a diet bet, or do some type of 30-day challenge with your coworkers at work, right? Whatever it is, like, find those things that make it go from dreary to being positive. I think that's all the examples I have. So hopefully, again, that helps you to see some different ways that we can change that from just stating that we have a problem to creating an opportunity for us to look at that differently, look at it in a way that we can make progress, right? That we can put it into action to make that shift in your thinking. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, your questions back, and if this helps, and share what you're doing to help make those mindset shifts, right? Share how you're speaking to yourself and how that's changing to really make things happen for yourself. Thanks, you guys.